everyone, kawaiiwolves here, back with another video. I know it's been a really long time and I apologize for that. School has been very hectic this semester and unfortunately may seem to only get more hectic, so we'll see how this turns out, but thank you for sticking around. So today, as the title of the video says, I'm doing an art swap challenge, and if you guys can figure out what the styles from what shows they're from before it's revealed to you, that would be great. Put that in the comment section down below. We're starting off with just my style, just to give us a form of reference, and this is something that I was still pretty proud of. I was proud of this one and really proud of the last style I did, so I hope you guys enjoy it too. So what I normally do is I use 3 different Copic Multiliners when I line my works. I normally use, which I think I might have only used one throughout this piece. No, I switched it up, okay. But I normally use 0.8 for hair, 0.5 for skin, and 1.0 for clothing. Sometimes I'll use 0.8, but normally I try to have the different thicknesses there. And then now, and it's not too bad in post-production, but it's a bit skippy for the coloring part because some of my footage kind of got weird, and I normally use one program to time-lapse my footage and then do all the final edits in another program. And I had to do some of the time-lapse in the more advanced program, and I've never done it before, so when I was editing it, I wasn't sure how it would turn out, but it didn't turn out too bad, so that's good. I'm using Prismacolors for this, because my markers were starting to die out, and I hadn't bought any replacements yet, so I wanted to make sure I could do the same coloring for each of the styles, because I knew this might take me more than a couple of days to get done because of how busy I've been. And I also liked using my colors blender to help smooth things out, because one thing I really like about markers is how smooth it looks, and beforehand I never really could get that from color pencils if you watched my art evolution video, which link up in the card. But now I can get a really smooth transition, and I'm honestly just better with color pencils. And it's been a while, but I still think I pulled it off pretty well. I also like to put either a blue or a purple into the deep shadows of things, just to give it a little bit more depth. And see, a little bit skippy. And so the outfit I chose to put myself in was what's on my avatar anyways, that you guys normally see in my videos, just to keep some consistency, because that's what you guys know me for. But I didn't draw it chibi just because I wanted a full body comparison throughout it all. And I think I'm getting close to being done with my style, and we can move on to some of the fun parts of this. Let's see here. Yep, get some highlights with my Uni-ball Signo gel pen. And then I try to do some sort of calligraphy. I'm not good at it, so I just kind of wrote it in my handwriting. But, you know. Now we're on to our next style. So this one is one of my favorite TV shows. And probably you'll be able to tell by the face which show it's from. It is Adventure Time. And for me, I used Fiona the human as my reference because her body type is more like mine. When I normally draw myself in anime, I kind of draw myself a bit skinnier than I actually am. But I am pretty plump. So, because Fiona's pretty thick too, definitely in her legs, I felt like she was a good reference. Here, I decided to do a thick lining with one of my Copic Multiliner markers, and as soon as I started I regretted not just using a pen, but I already started, so I had to finish through. And then, because most of the references of the hair for Fiona and Finn have the just a color outlining it. That's what I did for the hair on mine. And then there's no real shading with the Adventure Time style, so I think if I did do any shading, it was very minimalistic. But I don't think I did any. And I think, yep, I didn't. And that's the only one I remember to put blush in. I think I forgot it on the rest of the ones. So here's another, and it's a Western cartoon that I really enjoy. Again, this style normally shows off body types a lot more than what my style does. So again, I used references to try and get me more into my actual body type, since that's how the style does it. And if you can probably tell by now, I chose the Steven Universe style. And I decided to look at references of rose and amethyst to try to get kind of my facial features and my body type as a mix of both of those. I went back to my multi-liner pens, not markers for this. I think I used a 0.8 throughout the whole thing this time. And I've been using a kneaded eraser throughout this to erase everything. Ordinarily, I'd probably use a light box for just single pieces, but because I wanted them all on one sheet of paper and each one done one by one, I just did it how I used to do it, and just have the sketch layer and the line layer on the same page. And so this was a couple of days after the first two, because I have painted nails now. So I also forgot what colors I grabbed to get my color of hair. So it's a little bit off from the original two, but I still really liked it. And then again, this style doesn't have a lot of shading, so I did very minimalistic just to give it a little bit more definition. And now the last style. Now this is the one I really enjoyed to do. And I'm really wondering if you guys can figure it out. Because most people who do this style normally do it a bit differently than the approach I took. And I will give reasoning as to why I took this approach as we get further in. And I think maybe about now you guys could start realizing what style this is. I chose to do the Powerpuff Girl style. Now again, most people who do the Powerpuff Girl style do it as if they were Blossom, Buttercup, or Bubbles. But if you think about it, they're a mutated like experiment. So the rest of Townsville doesn't look like them. So if I was in their world, I wouldn't look like them. So I decided to use Miss King as a main body reference for me, because I'm also studying to be a teacher, and her body type actually fits mine pretty well. And then I used Miss Bellum's hair as a reference on how to do curly hair in their style. And it was very interesting because they don't outline their irises at all. So I had to make sure to use my kneaded eraser and then just color in my blue eyes. And then again, I'm going back in with the hair colors. Again, it's going to be a slightly different shade than the first two, just because I forgot which Prismacolors I used. But ultimately, I had a lot of fun doing this style, and it's definitely more cartoon than what I normally do, because clearly I normally do anime. But it was just fun, just testing out my skills in each of these. Because when I started to draw, I would draw the Naruto style all the time and just copy that. And so studying other people's styles really can help you develop your own. So that's all 4 of my art swaps. And let me know in the comment section which styles you want me to do next, because I plan on doing this quite often. And don't forget, because I don't remember if I mentioned this in my last video, but I do have a Redbubble shop now. I have a few pieces up that you guys can buy, and I hope to be adding more in. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!